A strange wolf spirit stood behind Ed. Only Lucy could hear it speaking. Save Yenica in the future. Ed looked confused. You say that, but I don't see anything. More importantly, Ed had a much bigger problem. He thought he had finally managed to get Yenica off his back. But now things were somehow getting even worse. Why was Lucy sleeping inside his shelter? Thanks to her tiny stature and her ability to walk through the air like a floating cat, Lucy could go anywhere she wanted. Clock towers, rooftops, hidden corners. And now, Ed's campsite deep inside the northern forest of Akan Island. The cool breeze, the nearby stream, the peaceful atmosphere. To Lucy, it was the perfect place to skip class and take naps. The next day, Ed realized just how dangerous this situation actually was. Lucy had casually flown across the island while half asleep, while casting multiple high-level spells at the same time. If someone this absurd kept hanging around his camp, the original story of the game might completely fall apart. So Ed tried preparing for survival instead. Construction completed. Crafting skill increased. New crafted item, snare trap. A simple trap made from rope and a bent branch, capable of catching small animals. But before he could even relax, Lucy stole some of his jerky. Ooh, what an interesting taste. She didn't listen to anything he said. And since she had already visited his camp multiple times, it was obvious she would keep coming back. Ed desperately tried remembering information from the game guides. Every single one of them agreed on one thing. There was absolutely no way to defeat Lucy Mayriel. However, Ed suddenly remembered a tiny detail most players ignored. Every single day, the maids from Arflis Hall chased Lucy around the academy, and Lucy always ran away from them. So when Ed casually mentioned that the maids were currently searching for her, Lucy immediately panicked. I just remembered something urgent. And just like that, Lucy Mayriel disappeared. Ed thought the problem was solved. Lucy had only stayed at his camp for 2 days. Surely that wouldn't affect the story. But he quickly realized he had become far too complacent. Soon after, the academy began its joint combat training. A tournament made up of one-on-one mock battles between students from every department. Combat students used practice weapons. Magic students were restricted to basic spells. Alchemy students were forbidden from using powerful potions. And every important character in the story participated. Princess Pinia. Lortel, the Golden Daughter. Ziggs, the Spear from Nature. Yenica, the Elementalist. And of course, the protagonist himself. Taylor McLaw, the failed swordsman. Ed wasn't interested in most of the matches. He already knew how the story would end. But suddenly, he remembered something horrifying. In the original timeline, Ed Rothstaler had already been expelled by now. Which meant he had no idea who his own opponent would be. Then he saw the bracket. Pinia Elias Kroll. Ed's opponent was the princess herself. At the same time, another announcement echoed through the arena. Lucy Mayriel and Taylor McLaw, please proceed to the stage. Ed immediately focused on Taylor. He had replayed this game countless times. He had seen every bad ending, every heartbreaking route, and the true ending as well. Not a single path had ever been easy. So even if Ed only wanted to protect himself now, he still found himself cheering for Taylor. Because this duel was supposed to become the beginning of Taylor's legend. But there was one problem. Lucy was missing. Everyone panicked. If the duel didn't happen, the future itself could change. Then suddenly, Lucy appeared beside Ed. I'm hungry, do you have any more of that jerky? Go do your duel first. Finally, the match began. Top first-year student Lucy Mayriel versus Taylor McLaw, the future swordmaster. A boy who had never even properly held a sword before. Yet somehow, Taylor managed to cut through Lucy's lightning-fast magic. For the first time, Lucy looked surprised. Taylor closed the distance. And just as the story should have gone, Lucy accidentally cast an intermediate-level lightning spell. In the original game, that mistake caused her disqualification, and made Taylor the first person to ever defeat Lucy Mayriel. It was the moment that inspired him to walk the path of the swordmaster. Ed watched excitedly. This is it. But then, something felt wrong. That wasn't lightning magic. It was wind magic. The winner is Lucy Mayriel. Taylor lost. And in that moment, Ed realized the story had already begun changing.